So this building, Summit on Hudson, we are so proud to cut the ribbon today for Summit on Hudson. Let's get a round of applause. Summit on Hudson's maybe marquee feature is this incredible courtyard with this beautiful fountain, this stone fountain, and of course today it is 97 degrees. So here we are in our lobby, and thank goodness it's a pretty grand lobby. It's not such a grand banquet space, right? So here we are, forced indoors, but so happy to have so many people join us. Today, we thank all of our funding partners, our government officials. We thank all of our contractors and our engineers and our architects, but really also we welcome 113 families home, and that's the most important thing. We have a great dais of speakers, and I'll get to them in just a moment. I first just want to recognize our city council person for this district, Deanna Robinson, our county legislator, Jose Alvarado, the City Council President, Lakeisha Collins-Bellamy, and you will hear from others as we go, because, a couple faces you might recognize up front here. I mentioned that this is home for 113 families. We all know that we are dealing with a very serious housing crisis here in Westchester, here in Yonkers, here in the state of New York, but there are places that are doing something about it. Yonkers is one of those places. Just 1 week ago, so many people here were at another wonderful ribbon cutting for the Municipal Housing Authority for a senior building. And then 1 week later, we're here at Summit on Hudson. We are building the housing that our community needs. I'd be remiss not to also mention Blanca, our county planning commissioners here. So one thing you'll notice in this building, I'm standing in front of a living wall. This is a living green wall, improving air quality and a beautiful feature to the building. The entire theme of this building is sustainability. So in addition to being a beautiful community room, what we call the Eco Lounge over here also has these incredible touchscreen videos where you can learn about solar and you can learn about all the different ways that we've designed this building. It won a New York State Buildings of Excellence Award for Sustainable Design, and it's really infused into every single feature of the building, so it's really exciting. When you visit the exhibit, when we're wrapped up here, and we have some apartments to show you, we have a beautiful top floor community room that we call the Skybox as well. When you come and click on the videos, you'll see these interviews with all the different components of the building. Those interviews were conducted by the Green Team members from Groundwork Hudson Valley. A lot of those young people are here. So I'll get on with it here, right? We're very proud, we're very excited, we're happy to have you here with us. This doesn't happen without some dollars, right? Without some commitment to getting this done. That often starts here in our home city. This wouldn't have happened without an investment in home funds, without a partnership with the IDA of Yonkers. So thrilled to bring up our mayor, Mike Spano.
Thank you, Rich. Thank you to our friends at West Ham. Where do I begin? When we talk about building affordable housing in our city, we didn't just say we're going to build structures. We said we're going to build homes. We're going to build places that people are going to want to live in. We're going to build places that look a lot like some of the exciting development that's happening right out there in Yonkers right now. We wanted to make sure that the amenities that are offered to some really can be offered to all. Rich, right? How many times we talked about a rooftop amenity, right? Everything that we're building down there has a rooftop amenity. But now, West Ham has made sure that they put a rooftop amenity in for the families who live here. And that is what we're looking for. We want to make sure that people are living in a community they're proud to call home. We also want to make sure that we remember the real goal here. The real goal here is to make sure that there is housing available for people who want to stay in our community. This is about our kids, right? That's what this is here for. And so, yes, we welcome those who want to come to Yonkers, but we also know that there are those who, because of the economics, sometimes are forced to leave, and we want to make sure that we can change that. We can change that narrative. And we do that with our partners. We do it with the county executive, George Latimer. I see my good friend Ken Jenkins is here, the deputy county executive from Yonkers, great partner with us. Ken, always thank you. To NYSERDA, our friends who are there and always helpful to us. To New York State Homes and Community Renewal, the Commissioner Ruth Ann. So thank you for being here today. Appreciate that. It's always nice to see you, especially when you come with a big check. Jamie in the Yonkers IDA, Jim Cavanaugh, I don't know if he's here, but it's good to see you here. Let's give him a big thank you for that. And of course, you know, when we talk about building stuff, it's really a deep pocket issue because we need millions of dollars to do the things that we want to do. Yeah, there are times that we can be helpful in diverting funds, we can be helpful in making properties available. But at the end of the day, you really need a deep pocket to make those dollars available. And we're very, very lucky here in Yonkers to have the Senate Majority Leader, Andrew Stewart Cousins. So thank you for your partnership and making those dollars available so that we could do the things that you expect cities to do. Yonkers is leading by example in terms of building good quality affordable housing that we can all live in. And of course, let me not forget to say thank you to our great governor, Kathy Hochul. So good to see you all here. And I'll turn it back over to Rich. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How beautiful is this, right? It really is. Does your heart good to see this? Nice to see you. I just want to, just because I'll be in big trouble, of course, I can't do anything unless I have a cooperative and willing partner in the city council. And so I have our council president, Lakeisha Collins-Bellamy, who is steadfast, always available, always spot on when it comes to these issues, and especially because she has a history. And of course, Deanna Robinson. Thank you for being here today. Thank you.
One more time for Mayor Mike Spano. So what you're going to hear a lot today is to make hard stuff happen. To make hard stuff happen takes total alignment. You need to have a city that's on board. You need to have a county. You need to have leadership from the state. We have all that here. So I'm so pleased to be joined today by representatives from the county and just the man of the hour. A building like this, and we have our commissioner here, we have our deputy county executive here, but a building like this would not be possible without the New Homes Land Acquisition Program, which has driven so much affordable housing in this county. County's been an incredible partner to West Tab wherever we work to create the homes that our community needs. So right on time, County Executive George Latimer. Just worked out that way.
As Scooby-Doo once said, we all know who Scooby-Doo is, right?
Yes.
Rust Rucky, I rest. But without having the benefit of hearing what the great Andrew Stewart Cousins has had to say.
Just getting there.
Yet. Oh, okay, all right. We're working our way up
Yeah.
to the most important players. The county is a partner, and at that level of partnership, we need to show that we believe in these actions. It takes the city of Yonkers and, of course, the state and federal government all to do this with a partner like West Ham. And having just been at a separate project a week ago, the only thing I can say is let's keep doing these things. Let's do it with as much time and energy as we can, and let's get a little federal money in there, too.
I don't know if I'm allowed to introduce as county executive for now, but county executive is where we leave that, right? But federal money would be good. So yeah, of course. So again, we'll get to our project partners. Leadership from our city, leadership from our county, and then leadership at the state level as well. We're going to hear in just a moment from our Senate Majority Leader, whose district we're in. We're also joined by State Senator Shelley Mayer, who I wanted to say hello. She's but one district over, but a complete leader in this state, both for things like education and youth, but also for housing, and has always been a steadfast partner to us. So without further ado, I'd love to invite New York State Majority Leader and our Senator, Andrew Stewart Cousins.
Thank you so much, Rich. And I'm just like, I guess the mayor, we're all kind of, what they say, cavelling because of what's happening here and the tradition that West Hab has always had to make sure that affordable housing happens. And I have been around long enough to remember in the county, I know, again, a great county executive will talk about where we couldn't even, in our committee, we had Lois Bronze, the late Lois Bronze, would chair the Committee of Community and Housing, she would say, housing. Because, I know, not that long ago, because we weren't even able to talk about housing. And if you talked about it, you know, it was just not inclusive of everyone and every economic strata. And the reality, as we know, even in a rich county like Westchester, is very, very diverse and very, very different. So to be in the city of Yonkers, and certainly the mayor, the city council, I thank you for your continued leadership and commitment to leading the way, because we've had the conversation about this isn't happening everywhere. And we know that we've tried to push it on, you know, state level, county level, but basically it takes the desire and the recognition of local municipalities that there's a lot that can be done in a beautiful, sustainable, smart way that will accommodate the needs of our growing population that we want to continue to keep growing, remaining, retiring right here. But we only do it when we work together. And I also want to shout out to my colleague, Senator Shelley Mayer, who together, you know, with our other delegation leaders, Assemblyman Pretlow, Assemblyman Sage, worked with Governor Hochul. And none of us, and you know, the Senate used to be this really, really conservative place where, you know, things like this didn't happen. But the attitudes and the understanding that things like this must happen is certainly what Shelley and our colleagues exemplify every day. And yes, to Governor Hochul, who, again, you know, working hard to make sure housing happens, and taps on a lot of smart people. Thank you, Ruth Ann, for finding ways that, you know, we can make all of the different things happen. Certainly in the, you know, in the Senate, we want to see more of this. We understand how important it is, not only that New York leads, but that we think of thoughtful ways and back it up with the resources, and then with the agencies that can not only help in terms of the funding, and I know in state funding there's at least about almost $60 million in different kinds of ways, but there's also an annual participation that is happening on a state level. Because at the end of the day, these budget documents are really reflections of what we truly believe in. And I hope that you understand, in New York State, with partners like West Hab and all of you, we really believe that we can accommodate housing, beautiful, affordable, sustainable, smart housing for our population, not only now, but for those to come. So thank you very much.
You know, we're always so fortunate to have you at ribbon cuttings and groundbreakings and other events. No notes, no notes, no notes. These are people that believe in housing. By the way, I've talked about housing loudly to anyone that would listen, and a lot of people that refuse to listen my whole career. So anytime we evoke Lois Bronze and names like that, we're in good company. We've got great commitment here from our county and from our city. We have great leadership from our state. To build a beautiful building like this takes a lot of capital, takes a lot of investment in the form of tax credits, in the form of equity from the state. You probably know the people that have spoken so far. You might not know the next person. New York has a real powerhouse leading the housing movement statewide. We don't just say this at ribbon cuttings. We are really lucky in New York State to have an incredibly smart, dedicated team making sure investments like Summit on Hudson happen. So we're so pleased to be joined today by HCR Commissioner Ruth Ann Visnakis.
Big crowd when you get up here. It goes quite far back. On behalf of the governor, I am delighted to be here. I do talk with notes always, partially because
You got to get technical.
well, I also talk very fast, so I have to write slow and really big letters at the top, or else I just speak very quickly. Anyway, I'm so excited to be here. This building is really incredibly beautiful, and for those of you that have come to these, we get to come up and we speak. The reason why we do this is not to hear ourselves speak, right? It's really to acknowledge how much work it takes to get to this day. It takes an enormous amount of work to get a shovel in the ground, and then it takes double the amount of work to get to this place. And so we want to celebrate the amount of work, all the people, the effort, the hours it takes to get here. And boy, does that feel good when you get to a building like this that is so beautiful. I came in through the courtyard, which, aside from the fact that it's like 97 degrees, you almost don't really want to come in because it's so beautiful out there. I kind of wanted to dip my toe in the fountain because it's 97 degrees. But then I came in and saw this beautiful green wall. It is not all buildings that get built everywhere that we finance that are this beautiful. So huge congratulations and thank you to Rich and the team at West Hab. They build beautiful buildings. And these projects don't get done without enormous local leadership. So to the mayor and the city council and the majority leader and the county executive, thank you, thank you, thank you. I say it every time I come, but it's like a dreamy state up here of elected officials that have so much leadership on housing. And it's hard, right? Not everywhere I go do people want more housing of any kind, and not always of affordable housing, and not of affordable housing with supportive apartments in it for people who need help with daily living, who people need more support, and who need a safety net. So thank you to all of you for being advocates, for being the voice of support to allow buildings like this to actually happen. Just sort of a quick word about the building and about HCR. So our mission is to create new housing, to preserve existing affordable housing, and to do it across the whole state. We set a lot of benchmarks, we have a lot of targets, we count in units and apartments, and we spend a lot of dollars. But really, it's about the households that get to live here at the end of the day. Even though it is very important to me that we do get all those units built and that we do spend all those dollars, it is about the community, it is about the people, it's about growing the community, it's about renewing an existing community, and it's about creating opportunity. This was a site that had an unused building on it. It's now incredibly, after many years and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, 113 new homes, including 45 with supportive services that provide an invaluable opportunity for households that were experiencing homelessness. And that is not something that always is accepted in every community. It's not something that people always talk about, but it is so necessary everywhere we go. And we really prioritize at the state projects like Summit on Hudson that meet those critical needs for people in this community. And we think it creates economic opportunity. We think it creates vibrancy in neighborhoods. This building for sure is creating a greener environment. So it does that and so much more. We've been pretty busy here in Yonkers, which is a thank you again to everyone who allows, I wasn't here last week, but we were here last week celebrating, and I know we will be back again. And we can do that because the governor, working with the state legislature, gives us the funding, along with the federal government, who maybe will give us more as we go forward, to allow these things to happen. We just came out of a great budget season that has capital, it has new policies in it, it has tax incentives, it has tools that we need to make building easier, to make it easier for us to build more housing, to create home ownership opportunities. And that's really what we're here to sort of celebrate today, is all of that work and also a commitment to continue to doing it going forward. It's absolutely what we need here in Yonkers, and we need it everywhere across the state. So thank you, and congratulations.
Thank you, Ruth Ann. You actually underplayed the tens of millions of dollars of capital that it takes to make something like this happen. So we have incredible leadership, and there is so much more to come. We're creating these beautiful investments, but the housing need is not going anywhere. We all know that. We just have a couple more folks, and then we're going to spend just a minute thanking the team that made this happen, our amazing architects and contractors and all of the engineers that made this happen. I mentioned that this is an award recipient, Building of Excellence Award from New York State NYSERDA, the New York State Energy Research and Development Authority, and we're really pleased to be joined by a representative from NYSERDA today, Will Shaw.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Don't move it too far, it's going to knock us over.
Oh, good. We wouldn't want that to happen. I also have notes, Ruth Ann. Need to stay on track. Want to say thank you to our state and local partners, agency partners such as Ruth Ann and HCR, development team, and everyone involved in this effort. I wanted to give a special shout out to Andrew Jermansky from the West Hab team and the entire West Hab team. Amy Gross, the architect on this project, Bright Power, the energy consultant. And from the NYSERDA team, Rebecca Philby, who couldn't be with us today. She had another appointment, but also Gwen McLaughlin on our NYSERDA project team. She is here, she's in the crowd, so I want to say thank you. On behalf of Doreen Harris, president of NYSERDA, and on behalf of the NYSERDA new construction team, I am also really happy to be here to help celebrate this project. I'll keep my remarks short. I echo everything that everyone has already said on this project. The only thing I'd like to highlight additionally is NYSERDA, along with our partners, are working to put current and future affordable housing projects on the path to meeting New York State's Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act 2019, mandates at least 85% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions by 2050, and we are focused on ensuring that at least 40% of the benefits of the spending go towards disadvantaged communities. We feel very strongly about this project. Two things just to highlight. The design is focused on the occupant benefits. I just took a look earlier, right? The community rooms, the garden spaces, this space of comfort and tranquility, right? Definitely something that we stand for. And the garden that will include educational sustainability exhibit that highlights the building's energy efficiency, sustainability, and carbon reducing components. We are very proud to have contributed to the financial support of this project between our new construction program, our Buildings of Excellence program, as well as our New York Sun program for solar panels. We look forward to continued partnership with HCR, our state and local partners, solution providers, and project teams, and we would love to replicate the successes seen on this project. So thank you very much.
Will, we're here to replicate, man. We'll talk to you after. Before we get to, again, recognizing our team that made this whole building come alive and quickly cut a ribbon and have some refreshments, one of the most important voices we need to hear from today, I'm so pleased that she agreed to join us today, is one of our new residents. So of the 113 apartments, we've had 26 families already move in and call this place home. You see a couple people. You see a couple people coming and going to work as we're talking. We are in their living room, so we have to be sensitive to that. But thanks so much for joining us. Chartiana Fisher.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to try to keep it short. My name is Chartiana. I'm 20, turning 21 tomorrow, actually. I have 2 sons, and I'm a single mother. I started in the shelter in White Plains, and I later got moved on to emergency housing in Yonkers. I was considered homeless for a little over a year. When you're going through the shelter process, at times it can be challenging, and sometimes you get a little discouraged, but me as well as a few other tenants are living proof that it's only temporary as long as you work towards stability. I have a long way to go myself, but being in such a beautiful apartment, it's like one less weight lifted off my shoulders. And it also pushes me to do more for me and my children. One aspect that I love about the building is the balcony, because you get the view of the water as well as the city. And I'm overall just thankful that I was selected to be one of the people that could take all of this in. So I would like to say thank you again to all the caseworkers that helped me throughout the process, Ms. Padilla, Ms. Coda. I love you guys, actually. Also, everybody. Thank you to everybody a part of West Hab who helped build the building and everything. You changed my life personally. And thank you to my family for their support. And also thank you to my kids, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here right now.
All right, we're going to have to really quickly go get a birthday cake. This is the one thing. Before I turn this over to our real estate lead, Andrew Jermansky, who's going to present some awards, we're going to go out front for 1 second in the heat and cut a ribbon. I just want to thank all the West Hab team. To do this, it really is a coordination of our social service team, our real estate development team, our property managers, security, facilities. It all comes together to make a building work, to make this environment work. So if all the West Habbers could just wave for a round of applause, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. And then, really my right hand and really leading the way on our real estate development, Andrew has done incredible things at West Hab. We've broken ground. We've cut ribbons due to his leadership in this area. And he's going to quickly recognize all the folks, all of the experts, all the consultants, all the engineers that it took to put this building together. Andrew Dramansky.
Hi, everyone. I also have a list. I just want to make sure I don't forget anybody. It's delightful to be here today. We've been working on this project since before COVID. We got started right at the beginning of COVID, applying to NYSERDA for the Buildings of Excellence, going through the city's land use entitlements process, and it's been about 4 years since then. So we're happy to be here. We're happy that we've opened. It took a tremendous effort from all of the people who and the companies that I'm going to recognize now. I just want to thank them because you've kind of been with me the entire way. And obviously we can't do this with all the experts and all the engineers and all the consultants and attorneys and everyone who really puts this stuff together and works hard with us day in and day out. So to start, Amy Gross, architects. Amy, I'm going to hold off on asking people to come up. Everyone can come up and grab you. I think it's just going to take too long. But Amy is actually the first architect I ever worked with back in my previous job. So it was really delightful to bring her in here and work with her and her team day in and day out. She is the first person who I brought on, and then everything else kind of goes from there. So. The next is our general contractor, Lasberg Construction Associates. Lee and James and their team, they're really a true partner. They're an excellent builder, and we expect to be working with them for many years moving forward. Bright Power. Bright Power, who I've been working with now for 10 to 15 years. Zoe's here. I'm not sure if anyone else from her team, but we love working with Bright Power. They are a leader in this field, and they helped us and inspired us to apply for the BOE application at the beginning of this. So their efforts are, truly appreciated. We had a bunch of engineers on the project, JMC, GACE, EP, Muser Rutledge. These are all critical components. We can't build anything without the people who actually sign off on it and design it and make sure that the building is built properly throughout construction. So it's a critical component to the project, and we appreciate everything you guys do as well. I see David over there, our solar energy systems, our solar designer and contractor. There's a very big solar system up on this building. We're psyched about it. There's a computer showing how much actual solar energy we've produced so far and will do moving forward. So thank you for your efforts. RBH Multimedia. This is probably the most fun one on the project. They did our sustainability exhibit. They were incredibly caring and loving throughout the process. They always had a smile. But they're also incredibly creative. They've created a truly museum-worthy exhibit here, and it was really just an enjoyable process working with you guys. Our financing partners, I'm grouping these two together, but Enterprise and TD Bank, we've worked with them a bunch of times in the past. We work with them moving forward. They're our champion. They go to bat for us on every project that we work on. And we couldn't do it without you guys on every project. The Leviticus Fund, right at the height of COVID, Leviticus helped us buy the site and give us pre-development dollars. They're an incredibly creative lender, and they take real risks. So we appreciate the work that Greg and his team do as well. The Yonkers Housing Authority, they committed project-based vouchers to this project, but more than that, they're a real partner to West Hab. They committed close to 100 project-based vouchers for our entire existing portfolio. was critical to kind of like stabilizing our existing Yonkers housing. So we appreciate what they do as well. The Yonkers IDA, we work with them on multiple projects here in Yonkers, and Jamie and her team are wonderful, and they help us structure, the actual kind of like title to the project and make sure that we have the benefits we need to make the financing work. Benchmark Title, they do all of our title work. They're fantastic. Our attorneys, Nixon Peabody, Megan and her team. Megan and her team are incredible. As we get to closing for those 3 months, they're scheduling calls with us at 10 o'clock at night. They're always reliable, and they're super impressive with their ability to understand the documents, understand the deals, negotiate them, and they're an incredibly reliable partner. And then Veneruso, Curto, Schwartz, and Curto, and Steve Accinelli, they're our guide here in Yonkers. They open every door, and certainly as we've learned the process here, we've needed them to navigate all the different processes that exist here. And then our entire, this is the last one, our entire West Hab staff, a few people specifically, Steve Elson is our project manager here. I don't know where he was. He took over this project when Emilio went back to the state, and he's done a fantastic job doing this throughout. Our Director of Construction Management, David Indreka, our Director of Real Estate Development, Justine McPherson, and our AVP of Property and Asset Management, Sam Valencia, who runs all of our property management, is absolutely critical to everything that we do, and I couldn't be doing all of this development and management without her. So that is all. Those people can come up, get their awards, we'll take a picture. You want to jump back on here for a sec?
Yeah, just want to thank Andrew and his team for leading the way here. So we have many West Habbers here to help lead tours. We'd love for you to check out the Eco Lounge and the Sustainability exhibit. You can go up to the 6th floor, see a couple apartments, and our top floor community room as well, the Skybox, and just ask all the consultants that Andrew thanked, all of our elected officials and speakers, to come take an award, and we'll take one quick hot picture to cut the ribbon. Thank you, everyone. Welcome Summit on Hudson.